Coming up towards 5 minutes after 7 o'clock in Trinidad and Tobago. Obviously, we entered the second hour of the show. And on a Thursday, we like to focus on arts and entertainment. The carnival is obviously a major attraction. There are some entertainers who strive to put out their music regardless of the season. Well, the Trinidad and Tobago Music Company Limited is doing its part via its various projects to assist artists in getting their voices heard. They've launched the project Spotlight 2 album. It's available on their Facebook page and YouTube channel. That launching was on January the 14th and showcased 6 Spotlight artists. Well, here to tell us more about this and how the entertainment industry is looking forward to 2022, we have the chairman of Music TT, John Arnold. We also have one of the Spotlight artists, Yelena, and also with us is Darryl Gervais, executive producer of the project Spotlight 2 album. Good morning to all. So let me start with John Arnold. Very good morning to you, John. Good to see you once again. So just give us the broad outline of this particular initiative. Good morning to you.
Right, morning. So this is one of the programs that we had as part of Music TT's rollout over the last 3-4 years. Artist Portfolio Development Program, and it sought to identify artists and instrumentalists who have that potential to advance in the music industry. And what we do is equip them with the knowledge and the tools, and those would include from songwriting, stage performance, copyright, and all the other elements that we think they need to leverage their creative talent both here regionally and worldwide. So this program was really one that developed over the last 4 years. We've had several cohorts. We're now into cohort 5, but this particular one here, we're glad to have Darryl, who will talk a lot more about the album itself, how we created it and put the international flavor to it.
Sure, and before we get Darryl and of course Miss Yelena as well, for those, this is Spotlight 2, which means there was a Spotlight 1. And if somebody wants to sign up for Spotlight 3, what do they have to do if they want to benefit from an opportunity like this?
Right, so let me just go back just one sec. So we had Spotlight 1 in 2018, right? So moving forward, we didn't have albums on the first 2 offerings of the cohort. But on the last 2, we've had Spotlight 1 album, we've had Spotlight 2 album. We're now into cohort 5. This is a new group that's training, and then this will now be the next album will come from the current Spotlight group.
Okay, I hear you on
cohort.
Okay, sure. I hear you on that. Let's before we hear from Darryl and a bit more about the album itself and indeed how people can access it. Let's hear from Miss Yelena, as one of the artists highlighted in this particular edition. Thanks very much for joining us. Tell us a bit about yourself and how beneficial this would have been to your career, Yelena.
Hi, thank you for having me. Being a part of this opportunity has been extremely beneficial for me because I was actually out of music for a while due to school. And when the opportunity was presented to me and I knew I had to audition, that was probably the scary part for me. But when I auditioned and everything, it allowed me to be more knowledgeable of how you market yourself, how you get your music out there, and knowing not just how to write and produce and release, but learning the whole business side of it. And I think that is something that we as artists in Trinidad and Tobago are not aware of. And because of Music TT, we were given that opportunity to be equipped with the knowledge to know how to do the business aspect of it, the theoretical side that most persons don't know about.
And how did this come about? Just give me an idea. Did somebody say, hey, look, Music TT offering this opportunity, this initiative? And just tell me what the process was like from not knowing anything about it to actually now being a highlighted artist on this album.
Yes, I was completely clueless. And Darryl Gervais, we sang together a couple years ago, many years ago, and we've known each other. So because he knew I'm an artist, he had recommended to me, there is this Music TT Spotlight program that you can be a part of. You'll have to audition, but you'll have to submit a clip of you singing one of your original music that is just over about a minute or so. And then you had to get a written document from a producer that can co-write or at least endorse you as an artist, that can confirm that you are an artist and you are endorsed by them. And so that is what I needed to get. And in order to submit, I had a deadline and everything. And then you were given the information as to when you ought to audition, send in your tracks, you were given the date and everything like that. When the time came for us to actually audition, you stand in front of the camera and you perform your piece. There were a few members from Music TT that would have been present, and then you had to wait a week later to find out the results. So you was not going to know the same day that you performed, and that was pretty nerve-wracking because out of 19 persons, only 6 was going to be selected to be a part of the program. So hearing your name called last was completely scary.
Well, at least you had to wait a week. I knew in seconds in my first music class in St. Mary's College that I had no music voice at all. What are you laughing at? I didn't ask you anything, John Arnold, about that. I knew it in seconds. Lindy Ann Bodenrich told me, Mr. Mohammed, you go and do something else. Don't join this chorus at all. But let's go to the executive producer of this particular project, Spotlight 2 album, Darryl Gervais. Darryl, before you tell us about your satisfaction with the end product, where can people access it, by the way? Good morning to you.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. The Spotlight albums are available on all digital platforms worldwide, every single digital platform.
So Spotify and Apple Music and all that kind of thing, right?
Yes, Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Tidal, everywhere. So literally everywhere, on every digital streaming platform.
Great. And
it's on YouTube too if you want.
Well, everything is on YouTube, by the way, including probably my attempt to sing in 1976 might be there as well. But Darryl, tell me about the end product. Are you happy? Was it a challenging journey? How was the experience?
I mean, I am very, very, very extremely happy with the end product. I think what we did there was a beautiful thing. It's never a walk in the park, creating music, because you have to navigate songs and styles and personalities and find the right thing for the right person. But it's a process that I enjoy. And together with my team in Australia, I think we were able to whip out the perfect musical piece for everyone's song. We took our times, we wrote together. Some of the artists wrote their own songs and submitted it, and I had to select. And that selecting process, you always have to be mindful because you don't want to hurt people's feelings and all of that. So it's a lot of discretion you have to use and highlighting one's strength from one's weakness. And being a producer, you have to move a lot of parts and find the perfect pieces to sync. I think it was really about vision. So it's keeping in mind what is the end vision. And the end vision was using it for sync and music licensing. So we really had to capture that perfect feel that gave them, a sense of each personality, but still have it palatable for TV and sync licensing and stuff like that.
And you talk about being a selector. West Indies selectors get cussed every Monday morning. Was it a difficult process for you to make those decisions?
No. I wouldn't say that it was, because all the Spotlight artists were very respectful, and I think they respected my vision and expertise. So they made the process easy for me. I didn't have to deal with any, hard-headedness or anything like that. It was really good.
And was there a level of enthusiasm from those artists who would have had to basically, in many cases, have no income, very little opportunity during this time of the pandemic? Was there a real sense of eagerness that you detected?
Yeah, of course. I think the program in itself brings opportunity to those that may not have had the opportunity but are bursting with talent. And that is one thing that I could definitely salute Music TT for, is for even having an initiative like this to give opportunities to those that don't have those type of opportunities. Some people have so much talent and have no idea what to do with it. and sometimes we can get boxed into, anything coming from Trinidad and Tobago has to be soca, which, I mean, we love soca music, but everything doesn't have to be that, we have pop singers in Trinidad, we have jazz vocalists, we have amazing gospel artists, we have hip hop artists, we have all sorts of artists here. So Trinidad is really a melting pot of, so much diversity, in music, and there is room out there for that. And I think that's what the Spotlight program is all about.
Indeed, and not forgetting chutney and all the other genres associated
with
it.
Of course not.
As well. And before I go back to John Arnold for a final perspective, what would you say, Yelena, to anyone who will say, boy, I ain't able with all of this, getting a letter from this one, meeting this deadline, and submitting this in time. I could sing, I the greatest thing around, why did you just listen to me? What would you say to those who will find it difficult to go through processes like that?
What I would say is that it is extremely, extremely worth it. I was able to reap rewards with regards to not just having one song, but we got a group song, even had a duet on this EP. And that has also not only that aspect, but being able to getting the opportunity to network. You were able to connect with persons. One of the producers was from Australia, so it also allows you to connect with persons overseas, to have that intellectual knowledge about your properties, about your music, about your TTI, RSC, all these different things. So it was truly, truly rewarding. So I say it's worth it. It's a small risk. It's literally nothing compared to what you have in store in this program.
And indeed, you just have to wait a week till Darryl tells you the good news or the bad news in that sense. So it will
inside or you're not inside. Yes.
Indeed. Let's leave the final word with John Arnold. John, your own final perspective as we wrap up our discussion this morning.
Yeah, thanks a lot there, Fazeer. I think it's been really, really good over the last few years. We've had some really good success in terms of, we had Daniel Griffith, for example, he's doing Lion King out in Europe, and we have also had Desi, she's in Asia. We've had several persons who have come through the cohorts that have done extremely well, and what Darryl is doing with those synchronization opportunities, I think is just amazing. As a matter of fact, we're keeping our fingers crossed. We have something, if it does come through, Darryl, we surely will have TNT buzzing with that kind of information. Yes. So, I mean, we're really glad about that. And thanks a lot, Fazeer, for the interviews. But we keep on pressing and hope that TNT musicians and artists can really move forward and take advantage of what's happening on the global scene now.
Well, John, thank you very much once again. I don't like the big set of laugh when I tell you about my own singing. I don't appreciate that at all.
I could see Lyndon and telling you go and rest. I could see that, yeah.
7:18 in Trinidad and Tobago as we go to the break now.